Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms. These are Charter Moms Chats, and it is already enrollment season as we prepare families to choose great schools for their kids for the 2024-25 school year, which I'm still not used to saying. But we're focusing on schools that are going to start open enrollment soon, or by the time y'all watch this video, they may already be taking applications for the upcoming school year. So today we're featuring New Frontiers Public Schools, which is known for early college offerings. And let me introduce the team that's here to talk about New Frontiers. So next to me on the screen is Jeff Flores, and I've known Jeff for a number of years. His current role, he is the principal of the Imelda Davis Early College High School, which is one of the high schools at New Frontiers Public Schools. And then below me on the screen is Kathy Rodriguez, and she's vice president of the board at New Frontiers Public Schools. And in her day job, she is Deputy Historic Preservation Officer at the City of San Antonio. So her work for New Frontiers is as a volunteer, but board members are very essential to the operation of high quality charter schools. So thank you for your service, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. My first question I want to send over to Jeff. So for folks who aren't familiar with New Frontiers Public Schools, Jeff, could you talk about the mission and vision?
Yeah, so New Frontiers Public Schools, we're one of the longest established public charter school networks in San Antonio. We're a Generation 2 charter. We're entering our 25th year in education, helping out our community here. We are known primarily for our early college programs. Our district had to refocus its mission, and we expanded the early college experience going downwards. So now it's 6th to 12th grade. We're starting our kids that preparing them for early college high schools, starting in middle school. We're preparing them in 6th grade to start thinking about that long-term plan, having degree plans set up to really make sure that everything's aligned for them. And then at our district believes in culture, community, and advancement. In a nutshell, we believe in early college. We use a model that is the highest risk, but the greatest impact. That's a full immersion model, which means our students are preparing, or where most schools are saying we're going to get them ready for college and we're going to get them prepared to go to school. Our kids are in college as early as their freshman year of high school. They're 9th graders. They are taking college courses. And we're blessed to partner with San Antonio College. So we're partnered with the #1 community college in the country.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm really proud of Alamo Colleges and what they're doing for San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jeff, can you talk more about how does the early college high school model work and what benefits it offers to students? And you mentioned the immersion model. So can you talk more about that?
Sure. So an early college high school, every year we have to seek designation from the state, and they approve us every year for that. It's an innovative high school. It is designed to have our students, especially first generation or underserved population, to earn an associate's degree or 60 college hours while earning their high school diploma. We're one of the first schools to be the opportunity 10 years ago. Our flagship campus, Frank L. Madla, which is located on the campus of Palo Alto College, is celebrating its 10th year of being on the South Side, educating our kids. The biggest thing for our students is that they're getting an upper hand and a head start. They're starting their college as early as their freshman year of high school. Majority of our kids, we're nationally, early college high schools, roughly 30% of their students are earning an Associate's 1 high school. With New Frontiers Public Schools, we're hitting almost 70% of those students are earning an associate's degree. What we're seeing students that are graduating from us, going off to continue their degree with zero or no debt. It is amazing to see these families and these students who are graduating at 19, 20 years old with an undergraduate degree. We have students who are 22 years old getting their master's degree with zero debt. So we're putting in the community, even though it's education, I really see a lot of this is economic development. Our students are coming back, they're here in the community, they're getting that degree, going into the workforce with zero or little debt. So we don't want that debt hanging over them. We don't want them to have to make decisions on where they go to school or what they can do based on their financial aid or their financial needs. We're giving the opportunity to get that 100% taken care of.
Yeah, it's really a gift to those students. Like they're in high school and they're taking college classes and they're not paying any tuition for
Yeah.
that. That's a
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like I need to like draw a
Oh
big
yeah.
underline under that.
And we have San Antonio is such a great higher education city. We have other partners within, like, with A&M San Antonio, UTSA, where if you're a graduate of an early college high school, you can get to 3 more years for free with those partnerships. So it is, again, I always knew it was a great benefit, 100%. My son's a sophomore at UNT in Denton. Public school, private school, it's an investment. So we can take some of that. You can take some of that away from the family, and it's 100% covered. We cover everything with our partnership, New Frontiers and Alamo Colleges. We cover tuition, fees, books, everything. So they're getting all of that at no cost.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, Cassie, I'm going to put you up on the big screen, and could you talk more about the importance of having partnerships with the Alamo Colleges campuses? So for New Frontier specifically, it's San Antonio College, right, which is just north of downtown, and then Palo Alto College on the south side.
Absolutely. And before I jump into that, I just have to give kudos to Jeff. So he's been living this vision and mission for almost the whole time. So more than 10 years. And I always appreciate the passion that he brings to his work. And when he talks about the students, that him and the team and all of the staff at our early college campuses, they feel a very deep commitment to their students and to the community. And that really shines through. Partnering with Alamo Community College District and with San Antonio College in particular, I mean, we use the term game changer all the time when we talk about that partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that, we're really changing lives. We're making a huge impact as we are giving this opportunity for students to matriculate into college. And so we're supporting our students by having our partnerships with, let's say, San Antonio College, for example. And since we are opening the middle school, that relationship to this higher education can begin as early as sixth grade for our students if they follow through the middle school into the early college, high school. And I see this as a way that we're really increasing access to education and eliminating barriers. Jeff was saying that when our students finish, they can walk away with a high school diploma and an associate's degree with no debt. And when I think about that statement, for me, it's about building generational wealth. So I'm a first generation high school graduate, first generation college graduate. And so I was very fortunate that I could assist my kids going through school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll talk about one particular one of my students who went through an early college model. So what happens with families like myself, so we become educated, we have good careers, but we need to support our families because that wealth isn't being handed down
Yeah.
from me to my students. So it comes from me. So my youngest son actually graduated through an early college, high school as well. And this was tuition free, which was a huge relief for us. We have three children that we paid to get them through their college, to get them their education. So by Nicholas, my youngest, finishing his first 2 years while in high school was a huge leg up for both of us. He doesn't have any financial aid debt that he's going to have to deal with. And the other thing that I think I experienced with Nicholas in particular, my youngest son, so he's the baby in the family. So going to an early college, high school where he was on campus with other college students really gave him a chance to test his own courage and to see
Yeah.
that he was really capable of doing that work and really beginning to see himself as more of a leader and less as a follower. So I think that's a really big experience our students gain with this early college, high school model. And as Jeff says, we've been doing that for 10 years. And we're going to keep doing that. And we are on a projection for growth.
Muted. Jeff, do you want to chime in a little bit on the relationships with the colleges and that experience of kids developing that independence?
Oh yeah. But first, I want to say, like, you see and you hear the passion in our board members, and Ms. Rodriguez is a great example of that. Of it is this is what we do. and it's a commitment to our community. And it's not just get kids through school, get them a diploma. We're investing in this, and she said it perfectly with generational wealth. We've been blessed to be in a city where we have an amazing community college district with Alamo Colleges. A couple of years back, Palo Alto was a finalist for the award. SAC got it this last year. We are in partnership with these great community colleges. We use a model where we are co-located on the college campus, so our students are college students, and it really makes a difference. Now, being a small school is a great benefit, but it's not anything magical. Being on a school site, though, our students are walking around with other college students. Many of our students, upwards of 80-90%, are first generation. Many of our families are also first generation graduating high school. So they're thinking about, can I do this? Is this possible? And they start to see themselves on the college campus. When they get that college ID, it's amazing. Every year it happens. They walk. These are high school freshmen. They're still being freshmen. They're eighth graders a few months ago. They go and get their college ID, and they walk different. They talk different, because now they're college students, and they show that ID to everybody. It's very powerful that I'm in college now. We tell our parents, if your goal and your dream was to get your kid into college, it's going to be an early dream for you guys, because we're going to get them to that school, and we're going to get them their college hours and their degree. We use that model of immersion I mentioned earlier. Our students, we put them in college courses with traditional college students, so they're in that atmosphere. We do that for many reasons. One, they get the true college experience. Secondly, we're preparing them for their success going forward. When they graduate from us in 4 years, they're going to transfer as university juniors. So even though they're 18 years old, 19 years old, sometimes 17 years old, they're going to be in upper level undergraduate courses. So we get them in that atmosphere, so they start to feel comfortable in that. We always tell internally, we tell our students that our job for them is to help them identify their greatness. Every student we have is built for greatness. We have them identify that greatness, and then we help them have the courage to take those risks that maybe happen, to embrace that greatness. And a lot of that is saying, okay, you can do this. Once they get that first college course under their belt, and they start to see, I can do this. I'm doing college level work. I'm in class with other college students. It opens up a whole another world for them. And our goal is ultimately, once they identify that greatness, they accept that greatness, is to walk in that greatness. And it's a long term. It's not just for our high school. We're going to put 6 years of school into 4 years. But it's also a commitment for us, for 6-year commitment. We want them to finish their degree. And it's powerful. We have 2 alumni from our very first graduating class who are teaching at one of our high schools. And it's when I'm on campus, sometimes I forget that they're working for us now, because I see them still as the 15, 16-year-old freshman or sophomore that's there. But we want to make sure that we give our kids and our families the true college experience. And that is being on the college campus, taking college courses with traditional college students. And we see our students getting awards in academics at the college level, in art, in sometimes in theater, in sports. We have students at Franco Imelda who are playing soccer, playing volleyball, playing basketball. And these are high school kids who now, it's always powerful to me to see kids who are on the edge on freshman year, like, can I really do this? Or my mom wants me to come here, or my dad wants me to come here. And then they really see, okay, I can do this, and I am being successful in this. One of the greatest things we have is when the colleges have their award each semester and their honors program. To see high school kids run up to you because they made the dean's list or the president's list, it's amazing. But they're starting to see within themselves what they can do. And then, like Mr. Rodriguez said, it's for the whole family. a lot of our parents end up going back to school because they see their students doing that, and it is powerful to see students and mom dropping off the son or daughter and then parking the car to go to their class. Now, when they're in the same class, sometimes by accident, it's not the best thing sometimes for the student when mom's in the class with you, but they do a lot better when mom's there with them. But you start to see that whole family kind of move into that, where it's higher education is just a normal thing for them.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Well, I want to highlight some of the themes that y'all brought up. Like the idea of generational wealth, that if there's a family that maybe they were the first time, no one in the family has gone to college before, maybe no one in the family's graduated high school before, but giving kids access to early college gives them such a head start, because they're not going to be laden down with student debt, and they're going to have access to jobs that require a college degree. And as Jeff said, it's a 6-year commitment. If you stick with it, you get the 4-year college degree, you get your high school diploma and the 4-year college degree. And there's partnerships that allow you to do the whole thing at no cost, which is just mind blowing. But then I forgot where I was going with this. Okay, but Jeff, I do want to ask you specifics about the campus that you're at as well. So can you talk more about specifically at Imelda Davis? So
Sure.
It's located at SAC, right?
Yeah,
and there's certain career focuses.
Yeah, so we're co-located at San Antonio College. We are in our second year. We have right now freshmen and sophomores. We're adding a grade level every year with a new freshman class coming in. We're full at 9 through 12. When we opened up this second campus, it wasn't just because there's a college here or something else that's in there. We were delivered in what we had to do for our community in partnership with Alamo Colleges and San Antonio College. We looked at the job force and we looked at what does the city need in the upcoming 10, 20 years from now. We want to make sure that our kids are getting degrees that have meaning in them, that they're going to go to places where they have a job, where they have those skill sets that's in there. Now, anyone can come to Imelda Davis and get an associate's with SAC, and it's open to any field. However, we focus on 3 areas where the city has the highest need in the upcoming future, and that is education. So we need teachers. We need elementary school teachers. Cybersecurity is in high need, and nursing. Those are great areas that if our students can get to that program, there are, in addition to graduating with no debt, with a degree at a young age, they're going into a field that's high need. So the jobs are there for them, and it is. It was by design to do that. We want to make sure that our kids have that. And San Antonio College has an amazing program. It's an amazing campus. Personally, I grew up around here. And for us, SAC was a place to come visit sometimes, but we didn't belong there because we didn't go, we were just middle school, high school kids. It has changed so much now when you come here. It is a beautiful campus, beautiful buildings, great programs. Their new journalism program is amazing. Their TV, I mean, everything here is top notch. So our students, where they have access to every single thing at San Antonio College. So that could go from the library, the computer labs, the cafeteria, the gym, and just this week they opened up a state-of-the-art gaming center. That is I walked past it. I was just floored by what's there for the students, and it's for our family. So our students realize this is ours now. I can come here, and now we see our students who they ask us, can they come to the library on the weekends? Can they be here late? And so, yeah, this is your campus. So they start to feel that. That's there. So right now we have spots available this year still for 9th and 10th graders. I would tell parents that if they give their kid the chance to do this, it's not an easy path. Ms. Rodriguez will tell you that with her son, it's a challenging path, but there's support along the way. I always tell students, you're going to take U.S. history in high school, again in college. It's U.S. history, right? Uh, English 3 is going to be Comp 1 for us. So we cut those areas down, and they start to see that, and we work very hard to make sure that we always tell our students, whatever their dream campus is, that becomes our dream campus. So if you tell me on day one, I want to go to Texas Tech, guess what? We're going to get you to Texas Tech. And we're going to remind you every other day, are you doing what you got to do to get in Texas Tech? And we get that into it because that's our goal now for them.
I feel like you're channeling your colleague, Mr. Zachariah. So I know he's not on the interview this time, and he was on the, on the last one. But yeah, so he's the leader down at Frank L. Madla Early College High School now. But I know that y'all worked together for many years down there, and I think he's one of the people who it influenced me in my parenting. And like a bunch of us have, we have teenagers, and we're trying to figure out how do we help them be independent? How do we do that goal setting? And what seems impossible is possible if you break it down into steps and you have people cheering for you.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We also have AVID across the district. So in that program, we're also getting our kids to look at the bigger picture of education. We want them to understand the importance of the program. We start to see them connecting the dots of what has to get done. But one thing we always make sure our parents and our families understand is we will be there with your student all the way through, but it's a gradual release. We're not going to handhold you all the way through, and here's why: because in 4 years, when you are in a different state, a different part of this of Texas, you're not going to have Mr. Flores there telling you, what you should do or why you get this class. We want to empower them, and we start to see that when our kids start to take their own future in their hands, and now they get to see my actions today are going to have a direct result on what I experience 5-10 years from now.
Yeah. Well, it's so important at the individual student level, at the family level, right? Opening doors for these families, both multiple generations, but also and from the economic development perspective of preparing kids for careers of what the city needs. And, Kathy, I want to ask you to talk more about your role as a board member, and so how do you stay plugged in with New Frontiers, even though you have a busy day job at the city, and how do you keep up with what impact the district is having on students?
Yeah, so definitely. So we practice, our board practices Lone Star governance, which is a model or an approach that was presented by the Texas Education Agency. And basically what it does is it really teaches us how to focus our work, focus our discussions and conversations, working with our superintendent to establish the goals for the campus, goals for our students, and then providing transparency and engagement with our families around those goals and around our progress, which we monitor at every single board meeting. As a matter of fact, a little plug, New Frontiers is going to be at the Texas Charter School Association conference this next week, actually presenting on Lone Star governance and sharing our experiences. And for me, being a public administrator and working for the city, these approaches and our practices align with my own ethics and my own values. In particular, offering transparency in the work that we do, staying connected to our community and to our families. And through Lone Star governance, it really makes us all accountable, and it makes us all really learn what our processes are, how to evaluate those outcomes, and making sure that we always are setting the best goals for our students and our families. And I think we've been doing that very well. People often ask me, why do I serve? Why New Frontiers? I've always known New Frontiers Public Schools to be a community-based school. I first came to meet them as they were, their district was on the south side of San Antonio. I am a south side resident. My children grew up in the south side. I live on the south side and work downtown. And I felt that this was a district that really cared about the surrounding community and always wanted to offer the very best to the families in these communities. Early on in my career, I would hear people say when new development was coming to the south side, oh, don't worry, it's going to be better than what's there. And I've always said, well, we deserve not just better, but we deserve the very best that we can
Mhm.
have. And I think New Frontiers has always had that attitude. And they've been innovative in expanding their programs, introducing the early college model. And to me, that again aligned with my values. And so it was an easy decision for me to make when I was asked to come on board. And I've been very proud to be a part of this organization and to serve in that way. And then as a mom, I have to say, I won't say where my son went to early college, but I could tell you that our students and families have experiences that we didn't have at our early college. And one example is that, and Jeff can expand more about the milestone and the milestone
Yeah.
ceremonies we have with our students. I know my experience, that 4 year early college experience went by so fast. And it wasn't until the very end when we were looking at the degree audit and he was applying for graduation and we got the letter that he had completed all of his credits and he was going to receive his associates. And that was the only moment that we really stopped to really think about the accomplishment, to really think about the hard work, to think about the progress, to think about the heights that he had reached. And we didn't have it built into our program at the school I had taken my son to. So we didn't have those moments to really pause and reflect and celebrate. And I think we do offer that for our students. And so again, community-based school that really cares about families and connecting them to this experience with the students. So it's just something I'm very proud to be a part of.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, that's a great segue. Jeff, can you talk more about the milestones, about celebrating the progress that the students make?
Sure. Like we mentioned before, it's in the DNA of New Frontiers to be community based and family based. It's not just about the students. We always tell our students, we remind them, Senator Madla, who Franco Madla is named after, Greg Garcia, or the middle school, Greg Garcia, our middle school, Greg Garcia, named after Greg Garcia, great community leader, a wonderful Aggie at heart for everything. And Imelda Davis, our namesake, one of our board members and a community member here. She used to be the CFO at the Greater Chamber of Commerce. We wanted to make sure that our families are involved in this. We know that it's going to be a difficult path, right? You're going to again put in 4 years, 6 years of school. We want to make sure that we celebrate our families all the time. We remind our students that we're not here on our own. We're built on the shoulders of those who came before us, and we want to make sure that wherever they end up, after they leave us, wherever they end up, they set that for the next group coming in. So you mentioned earlier, Mr. Zachariah. Mr. Zachariah was a great part of. We were sitting down over 10 years ago, saying, how do we do this? What we do is when they come to our school, we have a pinning ceremony. And that pinning ceremony is where the teachers commit themselves to the parents and the student that we're here for you and we believe in you and we're going to challenge you and we're going to support you. There's a part where the parent says, I'm here to support you as my child. And then the student also says, I'm here and I'm going to do this with all of us together. At the end of that ceremony, the parent is given a pin and they put that on their student, and it's a pinning ceremony where they're acknowledging this is our commitment to one another as well as to the school system. It's a great ceremony. There's hardly a dry eye in the room. I've been to many of them, and it still will just touch you. So that's the first milestone. Then when they start their first college course and their college rating, their first college course, we give them a journal and we talk about how they start to begin to write their history. And they start to begin to tell their story. And now they're in charge of writing their story now. And regardless of where they come from, what circumstances they've gone through, this is moving forward what you're going to do on that. I have been floored when I see students come back, ask me for 2-3 journals because they've written through them. I've seen alumni who come back and say, look at all the stuff that we've done here. So that's a big part of it there. That's our second milestone. Our third milestone is, we're in Texas, football's king and Letterman jackets are all the rage, right? Our students voted to have a Letterman jacket. but they had to earn it the same way they do varsity sports or varsity activities. Once our students earn 15 hours, they earn their letter. And that letter is given to them, actually an actual letter that they get, but also they have the opportunity to purchase a letterman jacket that's in there. At that ceremony as well, we have a part of that ceremony is where the students write their parents a letter of just thanking them for what they've, here's where I'm at right now on everything, and thanking them. It's also the parent writing the student a letter about what, how proud they are of them. Again, it's a ceremony where we remind everyone that we're in this together. You might be the student in the classroom doing the homework, but guess what? Your mom and dad are there behind you. When they make breakfast for you, dinner for you, they're borrowing someone's car down the street to take you to school when the bus is running late. It's all of us together. So that's our third milestone. Our fourth milestone happens near the end of the graduation year. We have a ceremony that is our senior dinner. And that senior dinner, we give all our students regalia they've earned all 4 years. We give them the regalia and all of that. But what happens there is when they come in, they're given a sarape stole that's in there, and the student wears it at first. And then during the dinner, we have that student, our seniors, they pick an adult that has assisted them or helped them the most, or they appreciate the most, and they give that sarape to them in the ceremony. It comes full circle. Freshman year, mom and dad are pinning the kids saying, I still get choked up sometimes. I believe in you. 4 years later, the kid is saying, look what we've done together, and thank you for this. Now, the dinner ends, everybody looks it up, everything's great. The power is the next day at the graduation ceremony, you will see the crowd, and they're big crowds. We're a small school system, but they're big crowds. Now, most of our kids already graduated college 2 weeks before. Now is a high school graduation. When our students look out into the audience, it is sprinkled, sometimes full of serapes. And it's the parents saying, look, and we remind the students, this is what you worked for, and look who's behind you. And they're in the auditorium. We have them stand up and look back and just be mindful of all those that came before them. I have been to many graduations with New Frontiers, and I am always just floored of how many people come back and they wear those serapes. And it is something that parents tell me it was beautiful because they feel like they earned it from their student, because the student is now saying, thank you for doing this for us. And then of course the fifth milestone is graduation. They're getting that high school diploma, they're graduating. Again, many of them graduated 2 weeks before. It is early college, high schools are different. It's senior year, you're taking your college finals, graduate from college, come back to take high school finals, and then graduate high school. So it's kind of different. But we do that to acknowledge our families and to remind our students that, again, we're not here by chance or by ourselves. Like Mr. Rodriguez said, we want to give the best to our community. I'm from I was born in the South Side. My whole family's Harndale ISD. I moved senior year to SAISD in Edison, but they're all Harlandale ISD. A few years, this last year, New Frontiers made a huge investment in a state-of-the-art, beautiful middle school building for our students. And that was by design. It was, we want to give them the best, and it wasn't just let's get a building for them. How do we make this the best building possible? And I would invite any parent that has a middle school child to go visit our Greg Garcia campus and get a tour and just see that beautiful building that, again, was an investment in our community from New Frontiers.
Yeah.
Could I just add something real quick to that? I know we're running late. But Jeff, a couple of things came to mind, and number one is the ceremonies and the milestones that you have put together. The fact that the students get to write their stories and tell their stories, and their parents get to do that also. You're giving them agency. You're giving them their voice. And I often hear people talk about education as being the key to quality of life. And when we think about that statement, you think when you get done with your education, the quality of life will begin. It will be available to you. But I think we're offering that quality of life early on. When they make that commitment, I
Yeah.
think the quality of life increases at that point because they feel empowered, they find their voice,
Yeah.
their families are built up, and they have a tremendous amount of pride. And I think that quality of life really begins to increase the minute they commit.
Yeah, and I'll just add that, it early college, high school, lots of times the idea is, oh, it's just academics and we're just pushing academics and these kids have these big things of books and all they do is study. We have traditional high school kids. We have kids who do amazing things. One thing that we do at our campus is that I've learned over my years, and I'm hitting 31 years in education, is we work hard to make sure every single day our students are reminded that they have value, that they matter, and that they're loved. If we do those things, and if our students come here and they know, hey, I matter in this world, I matter on this campus, that I have value in what I do, in what I say, and who I am, and that you know what, someone loves me here. I'm loved. If you do that, algebra 2 is going to come. Comp 1 is going to come. British Lit's going to come. Economics is going to come. It's that part. And what we see at the campus is this strong community of our students with one another. I have seen students who start their own study groups. When you see seniors and juniors taking the time to help freshmen in a class without being asked, that's who we are. And we are extremely proud of that. We are proud of that just as much as the kid who gets a free ride to UT or to or a National Merit Scholar semifinalist. Those are great, but it's also the kid who's just really worked hard and has overcome a lot of obstacles to be successful. And part of the milestones also is to make sure our friends understand we're going to recognize you all the way through school. If you don't get the associates, that's okay. It's not a race. You guys many hours as you could get, but we're acknowledging that, and everyone gets acknowledged through that process, and we acknowledge their hard work.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's worth the time to share these stories because Jeff, I get emotional too when you or Mr. Zachariah talk about the milestone stuff because
Yeah.
in modern life everything goes by so fast and we miss those, but to stop and reflect and celebrate.
Yeah.
And and I think sometimes people get deterred because when I talk about school choice, like people are like, oh well, my kid's not the type of kid that could go to a school like that. It's like no, like these are great schools. They take everybody's kids and help them do extraordinary things. Don't be scared off just because oh my gosh, these young kids are taking college classes with college students, with college professors. They have their ID, but don't be scared because you guys know how to bring the best out of students.
Yeah, and we have we lots of times we'll focus on in education on the end result. This kid got this scholarship or this thing. I look at the beginning part. We have a student here who's a sophomore now, James Rodriguez. He was 13 years old when he passed the TSI, and he was in his first college course at 13 years old. I don't know what I was doing at 13 years old, but it wasn't thinking about taking a college course. He earned 3 hours last semester. Now he's a sophomore. He's taking 6 hours right now, and it is to see that is just 13 years old from our community who he gave up sports at his other school. He wanted to play sports, but he also knew what he wanted to do long term. And when I see him here in the mornings going to class, it keeps me inspired because he has no idea what's going to happen the rest of his life with this choice he made and the benefit of it. His family does, but he's starting to realize now, like, wow, I am, so when I'm 17, I'll be done. Yep, you'll be done with that. So that's where, that's the success that I see in our students.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I want to make sure before we close out that what I'm hoping is that folks listening to this, maybe this is the first time they're hearing about New Frontiers and the concept of early college, high school, and the fact that they can even start in middle school at Gregory Garcia. But I want to make sure that people know how to connect with New Frontiers. So I have my little banners up on the side of the screen, but who wants to go first? So how can families learn more about New Frontiers, and maybe we can kind of touch on each campus and like what grade levels they serve and things like that.
Sure. So Greg Garcia is our new middle school. It is designed. It's the only school designed for early college high schools to prepare the students for that. That is the Greg Garcia campus. It's amazing. I would invite all parents out there. They have spots right now for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That's there. They have academics, they have mariachi, they have robotics, they have athletics. They have a beautiful gym, a beautiful outdoor stage, and it's beautiful. Our Franco Madla campus is right there in the heart of Palo Alto College. They have space right now for 9th to 11th graders. And then, of course, our Davis campus is located here at San Antonio College. We have space right now for 9th and 10th graders. You go to our website, www.newfrontierspublicschools.org for more information. Social media, we have our office, Miss Limas from PR in our district does an amazing job. We have Instagram pages, Facebook pages, all kinds of pages that are there that promote our students and our community that's out there. Or, of course, they can just call us at 210-519-3900 for more information on those 3 campuses.
Okay, Jeff, that was a great roundup. I want to encourage everybody, if that all went by too fast, we have on the top of the blog today, so sachartermoms.com, that's our website, and New Frontiers is the top post right now, but you can search for it, and it's got links to each individual campus, which grade levels the campus has served, and like the fact that Imelda Davis is adding a grade next year, like little details like that, and all the social media handles, because again, the team does a great job of sharing like that slice of life on the campus.
And then the last thing is October 1st will be when we kick off our open enrollment.
Right.
So please come in, get an application in. If you want to come by a campus to see a campus, please come out, and then keep an eye out. We'll have across the city information sessions throughout the fall.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, the information sessions. I want to encourage people like take a tour. Like I got to, Kathy and we got to go to the sneak peek of the hard hat tour before the school was really open. But at Gregory Garcia, it is just a beautiful campus. Like really designed to take good care of the students, and also designed to like welcome in the community and help people understand better like what's happening at an early college middle school. I think that's so important.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, do y'all have any final thoughts you want to share before we wrap up?
I think the last thing I would say is, yes, you can find us on social media. Our website is really great. But you could tell by Jeff that talking to our staff, coming and having a campus visit, and really feeling the energy and seeing all of the faces of the students and the administrators and our teachers, I encourage everyone, if you're the least bit interested, even if you're not interested for this year, but maybe thinking ahead for next year, give us a call, make an appointment, and come out and visit with us. And I think you'll see what a difference our school could make for your kid.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful.
I can't add to that. That's perfect. I can't add to that. That's perfect.
I know. That was perfect. Great job. Okay. Well, great. Well, it's been wonderful getting the update on New Frontiers Public Schools, early college programs, and sharing that with our community. Thank you all so much.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Inga.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.